Ole Miss fans need a hotel for the game weekend? Many OTAs keep all the commissions, but at Fan Plans, you still get your loyalty points, receive direct confirmation from the hotel, and you support Rebel Grove. Visit fanplans.com/Rebel Grove today.
Welcome into another edition of the Davison Igbinosun Show, presented by the College Corner. I'm Neil McCready. That is Ole Miss cornerback Davison Igbinosun, back in Mississippi after getting to go home for a couple of days during Ole Miss's bye week. The Rebels, of course, getting ready for number 10 Alabama. The Tide lose in Baton Rouge, 32-31. Ole Miss remains number 11 in the Associated Press poll after getting a weekend off. We'll get to a lot of topics here with Davison in a moment. First, I do want to tell you that we're brought to you every week by the College Corner. It's your one-stop Rebel shop. 2 locations in the Jackson area in Ridgeland. It's next to Fleet Feet in Flowood. It's next to Half Shell. If you don't live in Jackson, it's okay. Just go to collegecornerstore.com. Plus, you can find them on Facebook and Instagram. Whether you're tailgating in Oxford or home gating with friends and family, the College Corner has you covered for game day. They have the largest selection of Rebel gear in Central Mississippi. Davison, how are you?
I'm good, Neil. How are you?
I'm great. I guess it was probably fun for you. First time in probably since late July, early August. You got a chance to go home and see the family and stuff. How was that?
It was a good time. We got to go home, see the family. I actually caught my older brother's game.
They played versus Michigan?
Yes, Michigan.
I know Michigan kind of had their way with them. Michigan's one of those really highly ranked teams. What'd you think of the Wolverines?
They're a pretty good team. Like at first, I believe at halftime it was only 17-14. It just kind of got ugly in the second half.
What was that like getting to see your brother? I know he's been playing a pretty big role for Rutgers this year. What was that like just to kind of watch him on the field at that level? I know you've done it before, but just getting a chance to see him playing a lot.
It was definitely exciting. Like I watched him last year, like coming off the bench, but like now he's a starter, so it's definitely exciting.
Did you get a chance at all to watch LSU and Alabama in Baton Rouge Saturday night?
Yeah, I saw that game.
I've talked to some of your teammates. They've admitted it was kind of disappointing. Everybody was cheering for Alabama. That way you guys control your own destiny, that kind of thing. As you were watching that game, I'm sure you're watching it as a cornerback, knowing you're going to play these guys in 7 days.
Right.
You're also watching as a fan because it's completely out of your control, obviously.
Right.
Kind of take me through your thoughts, your emotions in that game.
I didn't think Alabama was going to lose, but like you do have to like think that like they're playing in Death Valley, and Death Valley is a tough place to play. So you see how that like works out, and then LSU sent a lot of pressure, got Bryce Young out of his out the pocket, so they deserved to win that football game.
Yeah, you're right. Tiger Stadium, Death Valley, it's a tough place to play. You guys saw that firsthand not too terribly long ago. Your only blemish on the season. As you're watching that, and when that two-play happens, is there a part of you that felt let down? I mean, because obviously you guys don't control your own destiny at this point. You need either some help from Arkansas or from Texas A&M with LSU if it comes to that, or do you not even think about stuff like that?
You can't think about stuff like that, honestly, because we still have to go and beat Alabama, still have to go play Arkansas and State. So you really can't think like that.
Did you you're 18 years old, your whole lifetime, I guess you're 19, or you're 18, 19. Yeah, 18 years old, your whole lifetime Alabama's been a dominant program.
Right.
Growing up watching them, was that ever like a destination school for you, or did you ever think about them? Did they ever communicate with you? What's just kind of your thoughts been on Alabama over the years?
So like I told you, like I didn't think I was good enough to play in the SEC like growing up, because like I'm a kid from the North. So like Alabama was just like the standard, like the highest standard of college football. I actually I want to say like towards the end of my senior year, and I'm like, I could play at Alabama kind of thing. So like growing up, it wasn't a huge thing on my mind.
When you play against guys like Bryce Young, who I assume you've watched, he won the Heisman last year. You were in high school. You probably watched him play some. They've got guys on that roster that you've probably grown up watching a little bit. Obviously, Nick Saban on that sideline, who you've watched a million times.
Right.
Is it? I'm just thinking from my standpoint. Like I'm thinking when I was your age, I would have been like, oh wow, there's Nick Saban. Oh wow, there's Bryce Young. Is it hard to put that stuff away, or is that just?
I mean, like if you're playing college football on this level, idols become rivals, kind of thing. So like you have to instantly put that away.
That's a great expression. I might steal that. Idols become rivals. That's good.
Right.
That's well pinned there, Davison. I'll steal that. I'll give you credit, but I'm gonna steal it somewhere. What about Bryce Young? You watch him on TV. Obviously, he's an incredibly gifted player. I mean, he won the Heisman Trophy last year. He makes plays with his feet, makes plays with his arm. I'm not sure he's 1,000,000% healthy. I'm not sure they have the receivers that they've always had there, but he's a dangerous player. What is it about him that makes him so good? And how do you, as a defensive back, how do you have to approach him?
His poise. Like he's always so comfortable in the pocket, outside the pocket. And I think that's how they lost to LSU. Like LSU didn't allow him to get comfortable.
Yeah, LSU did that deal with Perkins, the really talented freshman defensive back. You guys are going to be on all SEC freshman teams here in a month or so. You don't have to say it. I will. Both of your names will be on there. They used him as a scout. I mean, as a what's the word I'm looking for? I guess it's a scout, a kind of a spy. Thank you. Right. You're the wordsmith today, not me. Mm-hmm. They used him as a spy. Not asking you for game plan, but do you guys have? You don't really have that kind of a linebacker on your roster, a guy that's that kind of guy. Do you have to approach it differently than they did, or did they provide you a blueprint?
They basically gave us a blueprint on how to play out them. You got to play man coverage, and you have to send guys with Bryce Young.
So you know you're going to be in man. At LSU, they went after you a little bit. Texas A&M didn't have any effectiveness really against you. You had a really good game against them. Is it kind of exciting knowing, hey, it's going to be one-on-one, and Bryce Young's the guy throwing the ball? And
it's very exciting. Like very exciting to play man coverage against Alabama and Oxford. It's a dream come true.
I think I know your answer, but I feel like I need to ask. Do you allow yourself Saturday to scoreboard watch a little bit? LSU's playing at 11 o'clock at Arkansas.
No,
will you even pay attention to what's going on with that game when you're getting ready for yours?
You can't pay. I mean, you like every amount of energy, every amount of resources have to be given to Alabama.
You were probably on your way to Piscataway when College Game Day aired on Saturday morning live from Athens. We were getting ready for Tennessee and Georgia, that big game in the SEC East. There was a segment on there about the Auburn job. Brian Harsin fired a week ago. Lane Kiffin's name has come up a lot. Lane Kiffin's name comes up all the time for jobs.
Right.
Pete Thamel on ESPN mentioned Kiffin as a leading candidate. Didn't mention whether Lane wanted the job or not, mind you, but mentioned him as a candidate. When you hear that as a guy that's a young player in a program, do you pay any attention to that stuff, or what do you think when you hear it?
I mean, probably like other guys pay attention to that kind of stuff, but I feel like every job opening, Coach Kiffin's name is mentioned in every job opening across America, so you really can't pay attention to it.
Have you heard other guys talk about it at all, or you guys? Is it
not really?
Just kind of used to it.
Yeah.
I guess tell me a little bit more. Let's talk about your open date a little bit more. You got a chance to get away from football, visit family, probably go home for the first time. Did some people who you haven't seen get a chance to visit with you?
Yeah, definitely. Like just the family. I spent a great amount of time with my family over the past weekend.
Did you go see the high school team?
They actually weren't playing because they lost in the first round of the playoffs.
That's unfortunate. What'd you do at home? Just hang out? Did you rest? I mean, was it like, hey, Mom, catch me up on my best meals? What was?
Basically, it's exactly what that was. I slept, stayed home, ate my mom's food, kind of thing. It was just a good time.
What were the go-to meals for you?
She made me some Rasta pasta.
What is Rasta pasta? You have to fill me in.
It's like it's pasta, but like it has peppers, onions, sausages, chicken, shrimp, all of that kind of stuff.
It's almost like a jambalaya, except with pasta.
Basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you put up Christmas decorations yet? Did your mom put up Christmas
No.
decorations yet?
Actually, back home they still have their Halloween stuff up.
Yeah, we had quite the debate here last week about how early was too early to put up Christmas decorations.
I
Yeah.
think after Thanksgiving.
You're an after Thanksgiving guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to be, but my family's become before Thanksgiving, and this year it became way before Thanksgiving, just because of the way the schedule worked. Yeah, we have 2 months of Christmas here at the house. I guess I'm curious a little bit. You got 3 games in 12 days. When Alabama comes, you turn around a week later, you play at Arkansas. 5 days later, Thanksgiving, you play Mississippi State.
Right.
You ever done anything like that? 3 games in 12 days? I know your body's pretty fresh right now after a break. How do you keep your body fresh 3 games over 12 days? Or do you? Is it just become a mental thing?
I really couldn't tell you. 3 games in 12 days kind of seems absurd, but like I think you just have to stay in a training room and like fight against your body kind of thing. Like,
will any of your family be able to come down to any of the 3 games?
Yes, I think my entire family's coming out for the state game, so we're actually going to have Thanksgiving in Oxford.
Oh, how about that? So we'll probably talk next week. We probably I don't know. Well, next week's going to be weird because you guys are on a quick turnaround. Just in case we don't talk. Are you a big Thanksgiving meal guy? I know you won't have it on Thanksgiving Day this year because we're playing a game, but you'll have it later. Are you a turkey, a ham, or both?
Turkey.
All right. What are your favorite sides?
Cornbread, mac and cheese, yams, collard greens, kind of thing.
What about desserts? Are you a pumpkin pie guy? Or are you more like
apple pie? I like apple pie.
Apple pie.
Yeah.
But ice cream or whipped cream on it?
Ice cream.
You're pretty traditional, man. I mean, you're straight down the line on
I am.
Thanksgiving. What's it going to be like to be playing on Thanksgiving Day? Have you given any thought?
Not much though, but it's probably going to be exciting. Like it's going to be weird playing a game on a Thursday. You've
played a bunch of hot games. You're about to play a couple of cold games. I don't know what the Thanksgiving weather is going to be. Weather in Oxford's going to get pretty chilly on Saturday. You're going to play a night game in Arkansas next week. It's going to be pretty chilly. Tell me a little bit about getting to play in the cold again. You mentioned earlier in the year that you enjoyed playing in the cold. You're obviously from New Jersey where it gets cold earlier than it does here. How much do you kind of look forward to that?
I look forward to it a lot because I grew up playing in the cold. So like I'm probably going to have that advantage over a lot of guys who grew up in the South.
Any of the people back home been watching the podcast? Have they given you any broadcast?
Yeah, a lot of people have been watching the podcast back home.
What are they saying to you about it?
They tell me that they enjoy keeping up with me.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good side benefit of it. All right. Last thing, another CBS game, like we mentioned, Alabama, big stage, all of that stuff. Is there any part of you that is still kind of this is surreal, or have you gotten? Do you feel like you're an old hat already after 2.5 years?
I've gotten you. I feel like after the LSU game, like going to Death Valley, like I've probably seen everything there is to see in college football.
Well, listen, we wish you the very best of luck this weekend against Alabama. Should be a big game again. Ole Miss, Alabama, 2:30, CBS, Vaught Hemingway Stadium. We'll be back. I guess we'll be back next week. In my mind, I was getting a week ahead. We'll be back next week. We'll talk about Ole Miss and its game against Alabama. We'll look ahead to the final regular season road trip of the season. Ole Miss heads to Arkansas next Saturday. That game either at 6 or 6:30, either on ESPN or the SEC network, depending on what happens in the games around the SEC this weekend. So for Davison Igbinosun, I'm Neil McCready. Don't forget, we're brought to you by the College Corner. It's collegecornerstore.com. collegecornerstore.com. Davison, take care.
You too. Have a good one, yeah.
You too. Talk to you guys soon.